Good morning. It's Andrea Proeber with Great Expectations Realty, and it's time for What's Up Ocala. So excited for all of the stuff that is going on soon. I love the Burr months. Once we get into the Burr months, it's just fantastic. When we have October, September, November, and December, it's just the best weather ever in Central Florida. So much stuff is going to be going on soon. We'll get into that in a little bit, but right now we're going to talk about your favorite subject, or at least why you're probably listening to me, the mortgage rates and interest rates and real estate as a whole, nationwide, but also especially here locally. So let's get into it. Mortgage rates did drop just a bit, down to about 5.13% last week. So they seem to have hit at least a temporary plateau in the low 5% range. Last week, the 30-year fixed rate mortgage averaged out at about 5.13 to 5.22. So that percentage rate is supposed to encourage a few more buyers. Because of that lower loan rate, I think a few more people might be able to afford a little bit more in housing. We've definitely seen where the housing market has definitely shifted, and wait until you see the numbers that I saw today. I was pretty well shocked, actually. It's just kind of interesting. I think that tight supply of homes that we had, that seems to be easing because not as many people are wanting to purchase right now. So if there's not as much demand, we're going to have a little bit more supply. That's just the real basics of it, supply and demand. So even though we are still short on houses, I don't want you to think that we don't have a housing shortage right now. Here in Ocala metro area, we definitely do, but it is loosening up. It's easing. Because so many people are unaware or unsure of the market right now, they're kind of holding off. If they don't have to move, they're not going to. That has put a significant crunch on the rental market, though. The rental market is absolutely out of control. It is, I cannot tell you how crazy it is right now. Not just with the short-term rentals, but the long-term as well. Many people that were thinking they were only going to rent for maybe 1 year, they're now saying, you know what, let's hold off and let's go ahead and rent for 1 more year and see how this all plays out. That's allowing less and less houses to come back up on the market for rent. So as more people are moving to Ocala, and that is definitely the case, people are still moving to Ocala, but they don't have any place to live. There's a huge waiting list in most of the apartment complexes. And we don't really have that many apartment complexes. I know a lot of people are going, oh my goodness, all of the building, the construction and everything that's going on, we must have just amazing amounts of housing available. No, that is not the case at all. If you really want to test this theory, which is not a theory, I promise, but if you don't believe me, don't take my word for it. Go ahead and pretend that you want a rental and call around. If you can even get a property manager to call you back or a apartment complex to answer their phone, that would be amazing. They're just inundated right now. Over the weekend, we put one house on the market and we got flooded with phone calls, just absolutely flooded with phone calls for that one house. This is a smaller 4-bedroom home in Marion Oaks. It's renting for almost $2,000 a month and people are fighting for it. It's just, the rental market right now is just absolutely crazy. So while, yes, there is a little bit of an uncertainty with the sales market, it's still way better to go into the sales market than it is to go into the rental market. I saw a house the other day that was a 5-bedroom home, and it was beautiful. Don't get me wrong, it was a beautiful home, but at the same time, it's a 5-bedroom home, and they wanted over $9,000 to move in because the rent was $3,000 a month, and they wanted, first, last, and security and all of that. So $9,000 to move into a rental. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy, because that same house, or similar house, I should say, in that same neighborhood, that's your down payment, or that's your closing cost if you go USDA. it was just crazy. So I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that people were wanting to rent this, and that house is already gone. It rented so quickly. So it was just kind of interesting what's going on with the rentals. If you are at all able to purchase right now, I would say still go ahead and purchase, because even though that interest rate is higher than what we've been used to the last few years, it still exceeds by far. It is much better to go ahead and to purchase as opposed to paying those crazy high rentals. And it's very difficult to even get a rental right now. If you can even find one, or one, you're going to have to compete. I heard in other areas, they're actually doing like a highest and best type situation for rentals. So they'll put the house up on the market and say, this is what we're willing to accept. But there's so many people that are wanting to rent it. They take all of the people that qualify after already paying their application fees and everything. They take all of the people that qualify, and then they say, okay, how much will you pay us for this house? Let's go. And they almost make it like an eBay situation. It's absolutely crazy right now. I can't even believe it. I'm looking at it just going, who would pay this? This is nuts. Just purchase a home. What in the world? But at the same time, because there's that uncertainty, just for a temporary measure, they are leaning more towards the rental market. As few homes that are available as there are, that's where people are wanting to go. They're thinking they're going to hold out for a better deal. But bigger, better deals may not be in the future. So if you are renting right now, or you're considering renting, I would highly recommend that you go ahead and look into purchasing. Even if you purchase a home and you're only in it for 2, maybe 3 years, I think you're still going to be far better off than if you're renting. But that's just my take on it. But yes, the interest rates especially did go down just a hair, but it's enough to make it a little more comfortable for you. The average rate on a 15-year fixed rate mortgage nationwide, it inched down to 4.55 from 4.59 last week. I know that sounds like it's, a better deal. Absolutely. If you can do a 15-year mortgage as opposed to a 30-year mortgage, you are going to save yourself tens of thousands, if not $100,000. It's crazy the amount of money that you will save by doing a 15-year fixed rate mortgage as opposed to a 30-year. That being said, it still is quite a bit higher because, a year ago, just 1 year ago, it was at 2.16%. So I definitely understand where people are feeling like this is just crazy high and everything, but at the same time, it's under 5%. I mean, it's really not that much of a mortgage rate. I was thinking we were going to inch up towards the double digits before the end of the year. I don't know at this point if that's still going to happen. I hope it doesn't. I really hope it does not do that. But we've had double digits in my lifetime, and I'm not that old. I mean, let's not go there, but I am not that old, and they've definitely been in the double digits in my lifetime for that interest rate, and people were still purchasing homes. So yeah, it's definitely shifting. It's definitely changing. But let's go ahead and take a real quick commercial break. And when we get back, I'm going to tell you what's happening here locally with the real estate market. So we'll be right back. All right, as promised, we're going to go ahead and take a look at this week's rates as far as what is going on with our local market. And I was shocked when I saw these numbers. You're going to be shocked too. So new listings, we had 205. That doesn't seem too low. It's been around 200 to 250 new listings for the week, going on for about 6 weeks now, maybe 2 months. So really not too much of a difference there. Price increases 33. Okay, again, not too much of a shift, not too much of a difference, right? But price decreases 336. Yes, you heard that right. 336 homes have lowered their price. Wow. That is almost double the amount of houses that hit the market have come down. And we've been seeing the prices decrease every single week. We've had hundreds of homes decrease their price, decrease their price, decrease their price. So with that, what we're seeing is some of these have already decreased the price, and they're doing it again and again, just trying to attract those buyers. So again, if you have not put your house up on the market and you want top dollar for it, you have missed that boat. that boat has sailed. It is gone. It is already docked at another location. It is gone, okay? However, these are still high prices. Let that sink in. These are still going to be some of the best prices for a home you are going to receive in the foreseeable future. So if you are considering putting your house on the market, I would do it, and I would do it now, because you're only going down from here. That's where we're heading. It's kind of a downward push. So if you are wanting to get your house sold and you're wanting to get the most money possible from this point forward for the foreseeable future, now is the time. Do not delay. Go ahead and get that house up on the market. I would definitely mention that if you are going to put your house on the market, be sure of where you're going to be moving after you put your house on the market. So, if you're sizing down or something like that, do not rely on renting something, because the rental market is crazy right now. So just because you think you could rent something doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get what you want, or that a rental is even going to be available. Check into that before you put your house up on the market. And that's probably the same thing that hopefully that's the same thing that any real estate agent is going to tell you to do, is to check into where you're going to be living, so that you're not in an awkward situation when you go to close on the home. All right, back on the market, we had 62. That is actually still pretty high. So there are a lot of people that are like, you know what, I'm just not that in love with the house, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna find the home that I really love. This one's just not doing it for me. I don't have to move into this house. I found another house that I like better, or this one just has too many issues that I'm just not prepared to take on. Whatever. They went ahead and backed out of the contract. Sold, we had 202, so almost the same amount sold as came on the market, so that's nice to see. Expired, we had 10. Pending, we had 253. So we definitely had a lot more houses go pending or went under contract than came onto the market. So we're still seeing houses selling. They're just not selling for the absolute top of the market. So a lot of people, they'll like, the market's increasing, they're looking at that go, and they're like, I want to get the most money possible. I'm going to wait and see. Do you know when you can tell it is peaked and it's hit the top of the market? When you're on the way back down. So if you were waiting for that peak in order to put your house on the market, you missed it. It's gone. But we're still up there, up high. So that's again why a lot of people are just waiting and renting for right now, and seeing what's going on before they go ahead and push that button and go ahead and ask for the contract on a home that they want to purchase. As far as temporarily off the market, we had 27. That was quite a few. Withdrawn, 5. Canceled contracts, 45. That's quite a bit. So there's quite a few people out there that said, you know what, I missed the top of the market. People want me to decrease the price. I don't really have to sell right now. I don't know where I'm going to live after this anyway. I don't really want to put a new roof on my home, which is a definite issue right now. So they're just declining. They're saying, you know what, that's okay, I'll keep my house. So 45 cancellations on the part of sellers. Now keep in mind, that is normally prior to being in a contract. It is incredibly difficult for a seller to get out of a contract once they're already in that sales contract. A buyer, they do have certain things, conditions that have to be met before they actually close on the home. And it is easier for them to walk away from a contract than it is for a seller. So keep that in mind. Be sure that you want to sell, and be sure that you have where you're going to be moving to in mind already prior to putting your house on the market. Because again, even though there was only 205 houses that came on the market, we had 253 that went pending. So houses are still being sold weekly. There are hundreds of homes that are being sold in Marion County right now, but maybe not for the top price, or maybe with different conditions and stuff. So kind of interesting what's going on. I just still couldn't believe 336 homes have reduced their price. That is so much. When you consider how few homes are actually on the market, it really is absolutely crazy. If I did a real quick search in Marion County right now, and I just wanted to see exactly how many houses are available, we have 1,922. Now that's not saying if they're 55 plus or not 55 plus, or 3-bedroom versus 2-bedroom or 1-bedroom for that matter. That's putting no stipulations. That's mobile homes, that's residential, like site-built homes. I couldn't think of the name for a second. That's farms, that's, everything. That is residential homes. So it doesn't count the vacant land, but it gives you a good idea of really what's going on. So out of that 1,922 homes that are currently right now available on the market, over 300 of them have lowered their price. That is crazy. All right, let's go ahead and take a real quick commercial break. And when we get back, we are going to talk about all of the fun stuff that you can do here in Ocala coming up this week. Okay, welcome back. We're going to go ahead and talk about the fun stuff that you can do here in Ocala coming up. Now, this week, of course, we have today the Ocala Downtown Market. That is from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. So you still have got plenty of time to go down there. It's on the corner of Southeast 3rd Street and Southeast 3rd Avenue in downtown Ocala. You've got vendors, fresh produce, food trucks, live music, coffee and mimosas. It's pet friendly, it's kid friendly as well. They've got a playground outside, and it's just down the street from the Citizens Circle, which has the splash pad and some seating for adults under the trees. It's a lovely, lovely way to spend an afternoon. So feel free to stop on out there, grab yourself a coffee, and just enjoy the entertainment. They have all of this stuff going on. It's great. It's a great way to spend the morning or afternoon. They do have a special event coming up August 31st from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's Woofstock at the market. That has vendors, food trucks, classic rock entertainment by Jeff Brown. It has a dog costume contest. That's at 6 p.m. And they have a dog food drive going on. Your love beads and groovy clothing is definitely recommended, but it is an option. So it is not required. So feel free to stop out there, get lots of pictures, take your favorite furry friend, and enjoy all of the fun activities that they have planned for you on August 31st. Now, we have, of course, September coming up, which is when, if you look in the almanac, which I did, that is when we actually start seeing our temperatures decline, which is fantastic. That really amazing weather starts kind of mid-September, end of September. That's when we really start getting those temperature changes. So it's the burr months, y'all. It is the burr months. I absolutely love them. This is why I live in Florida, is for these months coming up. I just absolutely love them. All of the fun stuff that is going on, it starts really in September. If you look, it really does. We have, let's see, in September 2nd, we have the First Friday Art Walk coming up. That's, of course, downtown as well. Downtown is, of course, the place to be. Appleton Museum, we have on the 3rd, the free Saturday going on. We also have Junk in the Trunk at Brown's Market. That's also on September 3rd. That's from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. and they have some food trucks and entertainment out there. It's getting bigger and bigger every single month. So that's definitely something not to be missed. Also in September, we have the Ocala Comic-Con. That is 17th and 18th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Saturday and 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Sunday. And that's over at the World Equestrian Center, Expo 1. We have over at the Appleton Museum, the Women's Peace Summit. That's on September 20th from 1 to 3 p.m. We have the Welcome to Ocala Lifestyle Expo. That is something that we're actually taking a part of. And that is going to be over at the Paddock Mall. And it's everything, all the resources you need for anybody moving to Ocala or those that are already living here. If you need a plumber or if you need a reference to a doctor or something like that, that is where you can go to get all of that helpful information. Maybe you want to join a mom group or maybe, something else, anything else. That's where that's going to be, is actually at the Paddock Mall. And the first one coming up is, I believe, September 27th. That is an all-day event, so just stop on out to the Paddock Mall. We also have the Foodie Fest at Lake Lillian coming up on September 23rd. That's from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. That's over at the Community Center in Bellevue. And you can check out the Bellevue Facebook page for that. And then this one is an event that I am really looking forward to taking my very German mother-in-law. They have Oktoberfest on September 24th over at the World Equestrian Center in the Expo 1. And that's from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. You can find out more information about that at the worldequestriancenter.com/events. The entry for this one is $10 for the day of the event. Children under 5 must be registered, but they're, let's see. Oh, the ticket prices will increase $10 the day of the event. Excuse me. The adult entry prices are $35. I was thinking, wow, that's really inexpensive. I thought it was more than that. Yes, it was. So the advanced adult entry is $35. That's anybody from 13 years old and up. The child entry is from 6 to 12. That's $15. So anybody under 5 is free, but they still do have to be registered on there. Beer stein and first pour is $25 for steins. And it's going to have a 22-ounce commemorative beer stein. Includes 1 beer pull with purchase. And there's a lot of freebies that are going to be there as well. And the same with that Marion Welcome to Ocala Lifestyle Expo. That is going to have so many freebies. It's ridiculous. I know we're giving out a lot of freebies. I'm not going to tell you everything that we're giving away, but it is really cool stuff. So I'm very excited for that. Very excited to be there and to be a part of it, because I do think it is something that we really should bring to Ocala. I know they have a similar event down in the Villages, and that's great, but I really would love to see that here in Ocala. We're growing so much, and there's so many new people, and there's so many new services, and having those resources is just huge. It's absolutely huge. So, all right. Well, hopefully you have enjoyed your time with me this morning, and I've not bored you too much with all of these numbers and statistics and all of that fun stuff. But hopefully I will see you out and about. Maybe I'll even see you at the downtown market coming up. I am actually going to be tent camping with my family over the Labor Day weekend. So my husband is not a huge fan of tent camping, and I'm taking a teenage daughter as well, so it should be really interesting. But we are going camping here in Marion County, and so if it's absolutely miserable, I told my husband he can go home. But we're supposed to have, I think, a really great time. Hopefully, it's still going to be pretty hot out, so I'm really glad that we're going to one of the springs so that there will be plenty of swimming and cooling off in the fantastic water. So yeah, it should be really, really fun and exciting. I'll let you know once we get back on how that went. All right, you guys have a great time in Ocala, and hopefully I will hear from you at some point on our email if you have any questions or suggestions or things that you would like me to bring up. Our email is at GER.ExpectMore@gmail.com. Thanks so much for listening. Bye.
At Great Expectations Realty, we believe that you should expect more from your real estate experience. When you hire a realtor to sell your home, you should expect experienced advice on staging your home, professional photography, aerial photos, virtual video tours, and a national presence online to advertise your home to the largest pool of buyers. Your realtor should communicate from start to finish. And always remember, this is your home. You are in the driver's seat. Call Great Expectations Realty at 352-817-9160 or go online to greatexpectationsrealty.com to get your free analysis of your home's market price. Great Expectations Realty. Expect more from real estate.